Um, Hope you're well. So today we're going to go through GBPUSD again, this pair that we love to trade. So today what I've done is I wiped out everything on my side. I'm going to do a clean slate, start all over again. I think it's good to do that every once in a while, just so that you get a fairly good idea of what's happening, where the market is, and you sort of zoom out as well. So let's start off with the monthly view. So without further ado, let's start. So as you can see, we discussed this last time as well, that we're sort of, if we go all the way from the beginning, with like from the 1st of January 2016, we're sort of in an overall downward slope. And this sort of makes sense as well, that the pound has been relatively over a period of time, since the Second World War really, it's just slowly going down and down and down against the dollar. It's just something that we're aware of. So if let's go for, let's do some parallel channels. Okay, yep, that's fine. Okay, sorry. So let's go for horizontal parallel channels. So if we do a parallel channel all the way from there to there, to bring it down here. So we've got two options. We can go all the way down here, or we can go up to here. I think this one looks better, to be honest. And up to here. Yeah. I think that looks a lot better if we do that. So you can see we're sort of at the middle of our channel at the moment, and we've just sort of touched there, and we're sort of pumping. So that's good to know that if we ever were to come up here, that would be perhaps coming down again. And if we were to come back down here, would be at the support zone. So that's one view of it. So let's see if there's anything in the liquidity thing. So yeah, I really like this indicator liquidity swings by Lux algorithm. It's you can't trade purely based on that, but it just helps to make you understand that whether you've got something right or whether so for example here we know we've got it right because it's just told you that there's plenty of liquidity here and then plenty of over here as well, which was sort of guessed. Okay, so that's one parallel channel. So let's mark our levels. You can always come back to this later. Let's see if we've got any. Let's reset the chart and go through some monthly levels. So it's no point. I mean, if you go back here, we could go that fairly back, but I don't believe there's any point going too far back, to be honest. So we'll go what's been recent. So we've got this monthly here on above us, and we've got this monthly below us, which is quite a strong one. Okay, and then we've got this one here as well, which is, I think, a pretty good one. If you can see the resistance, 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 and turn into support. So, we definitely should mark that one out as well. And so we've got this one here as well, to be honest. We haven't really closed anything above it, so I think that's probably worth marking as well. Just want to make sure here. That's fine. Okay. So we've got one down here, but I think it's way too below at $1.14. I don't think we need to go that far below. And this one above is pretty high as well, so I don't think we need to go worry about those two. Far back. And yeah, so we've got this one here, which is sort of comes under just above this monthly, so it has been tapped because we've got this nice clear monthly through. So I don't think there's any point marking that one. One's below in the middle as well. Got this one here, sort of in the middle. We've gone through it, so I don't think it's worth it. Excuse me. So let's go weekly level. So weekly level, So where there's a weekly level that's next to the monthly level, we will leave the monthly level because monthly level is a higher time frame, so that overrides any lower time frames. Okay, so we've got this weekly here. As you can see, we've sort of gone below it, closed around it, closed below, gone back straight back up, gone down again, and then gone above again. So I still think this is a decent level of weekly level that we need to be aware of, especially since we just opened it last week. And we've got this one above us as well. So we've got the monthly that we just tapped, but we've got a weekly above as well. Okay. You can see this weekly here is just above. So we've tapped it here. So it's a nice resistance level, to be honest. This weekly is coming up to quite a confidence because we've got a monthly and then we've got a weekly here. And then we've got these taps as well that we've tapped into it, but we've always rejected it. So it's a high time frame sort of resistance level that we can see this weekly here above at the 1.26302 level. Okay, so any other weekly below us? We've got this monthly, so that's fine. Again, these weeklies are just tapped into monthly. And then we've got this weekly here below us. I think it's worth recording this one because you can see we've sort of tapped this level, resistance, resistance here, and potentially this could be fairly more support if we were to come all the way down. It would be a nice little range for us to go through. Okay, so I don't believe there is any other weeklies that we need to really bother ourselves with. So we have others down here and down here. And above us, we've got this one here. It might be worth noting if we were to break through here, so at least we'd know what our next level would be. And mind you, we're going back now to April 2022, so over a year. That's how strong these levels are now. And if we were to look for further confluence, this level here, this weekly, is fairly strong resistance all the way through. Whenever we sort of hit this resistance, eventually went through it, never really looked back after that until we came back all the way down here, sort of tapped it, went through it, and come back down again. So this level weekly, the 1.26302, seems to have quite a lot of confidence, but we can see just based on timescales. Okay, so excuse me, that's the weekly done. Let's go for daily levels now. Okay, so we've got, what have we got? We've got this week, this daily here. To be honest, that's just so close to the weekly that I don't think there's any point putting so I think we'll leave it. So we're literally right next to the weekly there, which we know is a stronger resistance. So I think we should leave that there, leave that daily. We've got this daily below us that we've just had closed on Friday, closed there. So we open on Friday morning basically. Yeah, simply one created, so why not? At least it might help us for integrate trading as well. Anything else below us? We've got this one, we've gone through it. This is a nice daily to post. And again, this one here, we can go for. So we created one and it's not been tapped. And again, this is for if we were going to have a downwards week. these levels will then come into play. Got here, but I still believe we've got the monthly, so we'll probably more likely just hit the monthly. But this will be interesting to see this stay there, so I think we should mark this one, because it may well be a good one that, you know, if we were to go through the daily, we'll probably go through the, if we go through the monthly, we'll probably more likely go through the daily as well. You know, tap all this liquidity down here, so we can see here, we've gone straight down, back up again. So there is, and this is also resistance as well. So I think this monthly slash daily level around here is quite a bit of support if we were to make it all the way down back here. And similarly on the other side, when we mentioned this weekly was really coming up for resistance, we could potentially go up here and then come back down. So that would be the high time scope frame. So let's just make a folder. Okay. Sorry, I'm not very good at this, but hopefully we'll get better as we go along. H2F, high time frames. Okay. Sure, there's a quick way to do this, and if you do, please do let me know. Okay. So yeah, so we've got the high time frames done. So let's put those to aside. Right, so now we got to see what other confluences have we got in terms of where we are at the moment and where we can go for. So I'm still in the daily sort of level. So you can see since we've come down from this high over here on around 22nd of April, sort of in this parallel, in this level, we've gone all the way down, we've gone back up, and again we're hitting this level here, which is sort of resistance. You can see last time we hit it, we came down quite a bit, and now we're coming up to the same level again. So if we were to do so let's do Fibonacci retracement. So go from the top of our recent high on 10th of May 2023, go all the way down here, and that works out to be around so the 6.8, 6x level right about here. And we'll sort of cross those. As you can see, we've literally gone through it. We tested the 618 level and pumped up. And you remember last week when I said I was bullish, and that's exactly what we had. We did have a bullish week for us. So Monday went down, but even then we recovered quite well. So we had a little bit of a red day Monday, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, which was quite. So overall, we did have a positive bullish week. We had a lot of support building around here if we were to come down. So building liquidity. So we've gone through the CC level, and then now we've gone up to the 6.6 level, and in this weekly, if we turn on the high time frame, you see, look at that. So that weekly there is matching up exactly with, with the 866 level to dollar basically. So yeah, so that's another confluence for this weekly level there that we've got. So it's the weekly to you can see if we go to really times frame, really high times frame. So let's go for the high of, this is 31st of May 2021. Let's go all the way down to the low of September 2022. And again, you can see we are coming up to high time frame resistance. And how much you want to bet that is going to be close to our weekly? Oh yes, look at that. That weekly is bang in the middle. Okay, look at that. That weekly 1.26302 is just right above, or just below actually, the 0.618. Let's go back there. As you can see, we've got two weeklies. We've got the 1.28 and we've got the 1.26302. Turn on the crib retracement. The high time frame one. There we go. And well, so that weekly that we've got a 1.26 is just below the 618 level, and we've got this weekly 1.28 right bang in the middle. So again, we are coming into high time frame resistance as well. If we were to clear this, if we clear this weekly of 1.26302, our next one is this big one at 1.28, which is absolute huge resistance because we're in the middle of this 618 and 66. We've got this weekly here, and then if we go back all the way to November 2020, we've still got these where it was pretty bullish and was turning into support. So that is huge resistance level. But even here, just below the 1.27, at the 618, we've got the 1.26302. So I think this weekly level in the immediate is definitely resistance as well. Okay. So that's good to know. I think it's always good to see the wider picture. Right, so let's go back to the daily. Let's go back to 4-hour chart actually. Before we do that, let's see if we're in some sort of parallel channel on the daily chart. Oh yes, that looks pretty good as well, to be honest. You can see we've turned to support, support, support. Look at that, and then we could potentially go to the top of the channel. Again, that 1.26 level, go above it, go perhaps just below weekly. This weekly actually 1.28 looks more and more healthy now because the 1.28 is top of the channel. It is, if we turn on the fib retracement, just above the 618 on the really high time frame. Yeah, so that weekly level 1.28, if we were to go up, is really high time resistance. But again, even here, if we were to go through this weekly level, in the meantime, in the interim, we could just hit the top of the channel and then come back down. So I like this parallel channel. I think I'm going to keep this one. And this is quite interesting, quite good. Yeah. Okay. So in terms of what we're going to do today, for example, let's go for a 4-hour chart. Okay, so we've opened up here. We're in this high time right, well, in this bullish uptrend sort of. So we've gone from here to here, gone below the 6.6 level, and then pumped up. One thing I have noticed recently is that we do seem to go through the 6.6 level, and then really make everyone sort of almost bearish, and then go back up again. And in terms of like if we were to do a elliott waves, which I've just started learning about, so still new. You could say this is wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3. Wave 3 is generally the strongest, the most impulsive, and the longest, occasionally mostly. So in that sense, we would expect this to carry on going. So for example, price range, so if we go for this from here to here, we'd expect at least wave 3 to be longer. So go from here. So in that sense, we haven't even hit the same level as wave 1. So in that essence, we'd expect wave 3 to minimum be above this. Again, this 1.26 level would be good to hit, and then come back down for a wave 4, wherever that may well be, and potentially hit wave 5, hit the top of the channel, perhaps even hit this weekly, and then do the ABC afterwards. So that would be nice, and that would be nicely play out. So in that essence, I'm still thinking we're to head higher. I don't see that we're at immediate resistance as such. We were, which we've gone above it. But at the moment, I don't see that where we are, that we would sort of head back down immediately, really. I think we will look to head back up. I also like this one as well, liquidity swing, like I mentioned. You just have to work out which chart it's good for you. So you go to the daily, because sometimes it won't give you the exact amounts. So it's giving us at the top of the channel this level here. Let's go for the hour chart. It's just giving us this little support here, saying there's liquidity there. And if you're interested, this is really good. It works really well in Bitcoin on the 30-minute chart, by the way. It doesn't work so well on the 1 hour or the other charts, but the 30-minute chart, it does work really, really well, as you can see. It's given the right indications, it tells you where it is. So, let's come back down here. Within a long, it comes up very short, with other conferences as well. But I'm not going to go into BTC because it's a whole different game. Right, so my bias at the moment is still bullish. I still think we're going to go up, at least minimum this weekly, to complete wave 3, and then come back down perhaps to make a wave 4, and then go back up to make a wave 5 on the 1.28 level. That's my thinking anyway. Okay, so in the meantime, in the 1 hour chart, and the other one I use is the market sessions. So by London, New York, and Tokyo. There is a Sydney one, but I don't think anyone pays attention to that, unfortunately. So as you can see, London, New York have been pretty active. So perhaps what we could do today is maybe Tokyo, that just started at 1 AM. No, it's about to start very shortly in the next 5 minutes. Yeah, in about 5 minutes Tokyo will kick off. So we could potentially maybe go sideways, maybe a little bit down. I'd like to see a little bit of down trend. Perhaps even touch this liquidity again. But I don't see it going through. Touching here, and going back up when London opens. So I think that would be our most bullish scenario. Alternatively, we could just see a sideways motion. London opens, a little bit down, followed by pump up. And then New York, to what it always does, either pump up completely or just reverse it. Mind you, on Friday, New York just pumped it a little bit more, and then went sideways. And Tokyo did nothing really on the day before. Sorry, Friday's over here. Thursday, Tokyo didn't do much. A little bit down, up. One of the things you'll notice is that the sessions take out each other. So for example, if we go back here, you can see Tokyo went down, London took it out, it went all the way back up. New York then took out London, and then went back down. Again, then Tokyo opened up, what did London do? Took it out. And then New York opened, what did it do? It took out London. What did Tokyo do? Tokyo took out New York. What did London do? It took out Tokyo both ways, down, and then up again. And I believe New York took out London again. So you'll notice that a lot. Like one session will then take out the other session, etc. So that's always something to pay attention to. So overall, I'm still bullish. So the other thing we need to look at is what is planned for this week trading. Investment news. So let's have a look. Investing on the calendar. There we go. Okay. So as you can see here, so this is very, very important week, to be honest. So we've got, for example, we don't have anything today, to be honest. PO Bank of England NPC member speaks, consumer inflation expectations. So nothing today, to be honest. Tomorrow is big day. We have employment change for the UK. It's not big. Unemployment rate. This might be a little bit interesting to see what that comes under. But the big news we have is in the US. We have core CPI, month on month, May, and CPI index. So that is really, really important to see what the CPI comes under. Because if that comes as higher than expected, that would be, in my personal opinion, inflation is high, it will be positive for the dollar because that means there'll be more pressure on the Bank of, on the Federal Reserve, sorry, to increase interest rates. If that comes low or is expected, then there won't be less pressure, and then it's unlikely that they will increase the rate. So I think that will be very, very key important. And then on Wednesday we have the other big news, which is, let's go to Wednesday. Oh, sorry, already at Thursday. There we go. So Wednesday we have, let's see if there's anything for the UK. Nope. We have, in the US, we have core PPI. So there's CPI and there's PPI. So that's that, which is what the Federal Reserve also looks at. And then we have Wednesday at 7 o'clock. We go. FMC projections and the interest rate decision as well. There we go, interest rate decision and the statement, which basically comes out, at 7 o'clock, followed by then they have the press conference at 7:30. So it's expected to stay at 5.25, but who knows? If inflation data is really bad, inflation is really high, these guys could increase it again as well. So those are the big days that we've got. Thursday, I believe we've got anything. Jobless claims, but retail sales, jobless claims. Again, it is important, that could affect it as well. That always kicks off something. And then Friday, nothing really, not much. So yeah, so that's important week for us to go through. Again, so we could potentially just pump. I don't until we hit this resistance at 1.28 or around here. So we put in our 618 level, we've got that there, and then so on the higher time frame we've got that. So I think I'm still bullish on this. I still believe we will go up. We could do what we did last week, whereas Monday comes down, perhaps this level. We've got then up to this weekly as well. We could come down and then pump up again, but I doubt. I don't think we're going to see that much of a change. I think the most we'll see is maybe come down, take out this liquidity, and then pump back up. So let's do retracement from June the 5th, which I think is more local. Got to higher of that. Yeah, I think we could. Yeah, I think we could, if we were to come down, we'd hit the 0.05 level, and then come back up. I don't think we'll go down this low. We could, by all means, we always could, because you can see like it is sort of resistance, come back down, and then turn it into support. So we could come all the way down here, but mostly because I think it's very, very bullish, we could hit all the way over 1.5, perhaps spend a little bit of time or just a quick into it, and then pump back up. Yeah, so that's my thinking, guys. Honestly, I still think. Sorry, it's a bit messy now. Just clear it out a bit. So, final thoughts are that we will most likely still go up until we hit those high time frame resistances. US data, for example, comes up very mixed. It could be like if, say, if inflation comes as expected, I don't think that'll be very positive for the US dollar. And then, like, if we look at the macroeconomics for the pound as well, it's obviously not great, but I think looking at the chart itself, I believe the pound will go up to the dollar until we hit the 1.28. But once we hit that, then I think we're probably going to see quite a steep retracement. Once that's going to happen, who knows, something, maybe some other news, maybe the US decides to increase, like next month, for example. The thought is that this month there's going to be a pause on the US interest rates, and next month they will increase interest rates. And if they do, anywhere above where we are in here, we could see a sharp retracement come back down and the dollar going up. And then one other thing that you can always mention when you, for example, when you are trading, having a look to see what to do, always have to keep an eye on the DXY, because whatever the DXY does, the GBP will do opposite. So you can see whenever DXY goes down, pound goes up. At the moment we're going sideways, so it's always good to keep an eye on this. If DXY decides to drop, then you know that the pound is about to go up. That's always one to keep an eye on. Okay, hope you enjoy that. Please do let me know what your thoughts are, what you think, what your opinions are, and let me know your feedback, and I shall speak to you guys soon. Take care, bye.